God, that's a beautiful bean. Let me see that, man. Whoa, is that beautiful? Would you catch it? Oh, I'm shooting video. Beautiful sunrise for this Friedman Adventures surf fishing event. Spot fan, Michael Lemon. All right, good job. To fight another day.
Wiggle. Yeah.
Oh,
Beautiful. Leopard shark, good job.
Shark Slayer.
Woohoo!
look at that.
Michael Lemon, what's that?
Another croaker.
Man, they're biting. Beautiful yellowfin croaker. There he goes. Ready to go here?
Yeah, guess what I just caught?
What?
I caught a corvina.
You did?
Uh-huh.
I made you guys breakfast burritos
Woo.
and there's chocolate donuts.
Chocolate donut. Yellowfin croaker.
Yellowfin croaker. Much. Woo! Hey, good Monday morning, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. It is great to wake you up this morning, to have a cup of coffee with you, and to bring you, of course, the morning briefing. There is so much to cover with you. We've got bluefin tuna biting in day-and-a-half range of San Diego. That is great news, and some awfully good rock fishing going on south of the border right now. Of course, we've got more big halibut being taken here in the LA Orange County area. Some really good wintertime bass fishing. And the lead-in, what an extraordinary day we had here yesterday in Surfside, surf fishing with kids and adults. I mean, we had so much fun. There was one angler, Jeff, his very first time surf fishing, had 5 fish, I think, right, Jeff? He was just cranking on them, and the kids had such a great time, and all the adults and Friedman family members who came out. I am deeply indebted to all of you for making that such a memorable day for me. So many good people willing to help the kids, willing to come out into the great outdoors and have some fun. And we're going to do more of those. We only had 48 hours to plan that, and we ended up with over 30 people here on the beach, where people were coming down and saying, hey, what's going on down here? How come so many fishermen are out? So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy Sunday to come out and go fishing with us. We have got a big show tonight down there at Island Fishing Tackle in beautiful Carson, California. Tackle Shop Confessions live at 6 p.m. with my good friend Sam De La Torre. And tonight is the night when we debut the Daiwa Lexa 500. Everybody's talking about it, and you will get to see it tonight. How many times does a president of the United States chime in on a new reel? President Joe Biden, rumored behind closed doors to have said he wanted to be one of the very first to drive the Lexa 500. So there's a buzz about this that is absolutely incredible. And we'll have it live for you tonight, right here on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel at 6 p.m. You're not going to want to miss it. And if you'd like to be part of our studio audience, you can show up down there. Some guys are doing kind of a potluck, bringing some chicken wings and some other goodies to eat, so we'll turn it into a party. Just be down there around 5:30. We start at 6, so if you get there by 5:55, we can get you in the door, get you seated, and let you enjoy Tackle Shop Confessions live and munch out with all of us. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh my God, I think I might have to do one more of those. It tastes so good this morning. Thank you so much for indulging me. Nectars from the gods. It is really, really great to be with you all. If you don't mind, hit that like button. We've got a lot to cover with you here. Share these videos with a friend. Tick the bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. And of course, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. 4.5 million views here on YouTube alone, millions more on our social media. I can't thank you enough for that. Also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. All right, so much to cover with you. I can't wait till tonight when I see my dear friend Sam De La Torre, and many of you, I hope, will show up for the studio audience. We don't do that very often, so that's going to be a lot of fun tonight. And man, remember, if you're bringing food, I'm a carnivore, nice big ribeye or something like that. I'm kidding you, of course. It's going to be a great deal of fun. All right, let's jump into it with you and talk about Cabo San Lucas, where there's been some extraordinary surf fishing. We showed you those 3 Dorado that were caught in the surf by Cabo Surfcaster. It's really nothing out of the ordinary. Cabo Surfcaster on Instagram makes all kinds of incredible catches in the surf, and that is continuing. There's still some striped marlin there and some yellowfin tuna a little bit further offshore. Also, as we mentioned, not only Dorado in the surf, but there's some being taken out there on the boats, as well as an occasional wahoo. We'll move you up to San Quintin, where their yellowtail bite has been fantastic down there. They've been hammering away on the yellows in San Quintin, which is located 140 miles below the border, where California, let's say, San Isidro and Tijuana kind of bump into each other. Then down 140 miles, great yellowtail action, tremendous bottom fishing, lots of lings and reds, and so much more. It's been really good in San Quintin. Ensenada, my dear friend Albert Ponce was down at Blackfin sport fishing yesterday. Look at the areas of yellowtail they ran on. They had fish up, boiling, putting up a heck of a ruckus on the surface, and that's that run and gun fishing. They put the throttle down and the blackfin rolled up on it, threw the iron and picked up a couple of nice yellows. Albert, nice going. So happy you had a memorable trip with Victor and everybody at Blackfin Sport Fishing. We love fishing with them out of Punta Baja. There were other guys that made catches down there also. We saw Baja Fishing and several other boats and pongas and sixpacks making some very good catches. A lot of that going on down there near Soledad Reef, Santo Tomas area. It's a little bit further south, maybe a 15-mile run, but it's been excellent down there in that neck of the woods. And you can add into that some great bottom fishing with lots of reds and rockfish and lings. It's been tremendous. If you want to focus around Ensenada on the rugged Punta Banda area, there's been some really good bass fishing there. We've seen some great calico bass fishing and also an occasional halibut. And we've had flurries of barracuda down there also. We've had these pulses where we get a bite on the barracuda, and it's really, really good. There was some of that going on over the weekend also. So really good. And we not only looked to Ensenada for making the drive down there and having some fun with our brothers and sisters in Mexico, but we also look to it as a preview of what might be headed our way. So we'll keep our eyes on that. Don't forget, it's tax season, and a best income tax with our friend Tim Marquez will take that burden off your shoulders, get you your refund, clear up past tax problems, anything you need tax-wise. There's nobody better, nobody I trust more than Tim Marquez. Give him a call today. And don't forget, efficient heating and air conditioning. If you have heating or air conditioning woes, you're going to want to turn to my dear friend and great family man, John Lopez. Give John a call today. He'll settle that all down for you. The Royal Polaris is still fishing. I thought they were straight lining it for home, but they ended up catching several nice yellowfin tuna. Not the really big stuff, but decent, nice big fish, 70, 100-pound stuff. Yesterday, they had a good shot on the wahoo and able to catch some bottom stuff also, some groupers and other reef fish to provide for a great meal on board the Royal Polaris. That is great fishing on board the RP, now finishing up a 22-day trip. So really great stuff going on there. All right, let's talk about what is going on here down there at 120 miles. Now, we're talking LA, Orange County, San Diego. We're talking SoCal. Let's talk SoCal. And big news over the weekend was boats down there fishing Punta Colinet, which now is 120 miles down below the border. Past Ensenada, just shy of San Quintin, is Punta Colinet. Many boats out of San Diego during this time of the year run day-and-a-half trips down there and do quite well on the bottom stuff. But they encountered some bluefin tuna, and that is great news. Early season bluefin tuna. That is really a fabulous signal and sign for the coming season, and hopefully we just keep going. And they also had yellowtail and, of course, copious amounts of reds and rockfish. It really was outstanding fishing down there. The Pacific Dawn limits on the red, 6 bluefin tuna in the 15 to 70 pound range, 170 pounder on board there, and that is really, really good. The Old Glory hung several bluefin tuna and busted off a bunch. They ended up with 3 fish down there. They had 13 yellowtail, nice hit there, 22 lingcod, and a bunch of rockfish to help round out an absolutely magnificent trip down there. The tribute limits on the reds. They had lings, and they were 2 for 12 on the bluefin tuna or the yellowtail. What was it? I'll figure that out. It was one of those two. Anyway, really great fishing going on down there in that neck of the woods with very little coverage. By that I mean just not all that many boats. You throw 20 boats down there and they start looking around, and you might find a nugget of bluefin that is not only more voluminous but really wants to bite. This is a great signal and sign for the season to come. And just let's eviscerate the bluefin tuna for one moment from the counts. Wide open lings, big reds, a chance for yo-yo iron yellowtail. Man, sign me up. I'm all over that. That is some really great fishing. Hopefully it's just going to continue to progress, and I think it will. You know, we're in this El Nino environment right now. This water temperature here is 59, 60 degrees. We see a lot of that everywhere right now. It's a little bit warmer than normal, not, you know, crazy warm, but it's a little bit warmer, and it seems to have accelerated things. We've seen sand crabs on the beaches now. We've seen this halibut fishing that's been incredible. We've seen this bluefin tuna, some barracuda. It's looking like an early season. Now that's all going to transition late spring or summer into a La Nina, which is cold water, and it's supposed to be a boomer La Nina. Like, it's going to get really, really cold. So we'll keep our eyes on that for you very, very closely. That water feels like 58, 59 degrees like in there. Should be some good surf fishing again here today. So really good signs and signal down there. In the San Diego local area, some really good sand bass fishing continuing for the boys down there. The Premier had just under 80 sand bass. It's been good down there for the local boats. They've been doing fantastic. So again, most of those guys fishing 20-pound with a dropper loop kind of setup. Sometimes it's less than that. You know, the fish have been in 40 to 120 feet of water. So depending on current depth and wind and current, you're going to switch it up in terms of how much weight you are using. Sometimes it's a small sliding ink sinker. Is always choosing a good hot bait makes all the difference in the world. So make sure you take the time to do that. It will ensure success for you. There's been occasional halibut also. Some guys come out of Point Loma there in San Diego and they hang a left and go into Mexico, where rock fishing is open. Not open until April 1st. They're open now in Mexico, and they do quite well. So some of those guys have trips like that scheduled. You might want to think about that. All right, talking halibut once again. Whoa, the native sun. You got to start there every single day. That has been the place to be this year. That has been the hot boat. And the halibut fishing again on Sunday was extraordinary. 16 halibut on board the Native Sun. How on earth can you beat that? On Saturday, they had 2 fish over 30 pounds. They've had an incredible year so far this year. They continue to run their derby for both halibut and bass, and they run Wednesday through Sunday out of 22nd Street Landing. That is really good. They had 1 fish right there at 20 pounds on Sunday. Tremendous fishing continuing there. And man, I don't see that letting up at all. We kind of could see that all happening when we had all that market squid here for a good part of last year and into this year. Less right now, but that just kicked the food chain into gear, and we continue to see halibut and signs of white sea bass. It's looking really, really good, folks. I'm telling you, we're headed toward a big 2024. We have an Apollo trip, a reverse 2.5-day trip, leaving from 22nd Street. I'm going to put up details on that midweek, and you're going to want to book fast because it's going to be a great one. Leaving at 10 a.m. gives us the range to go to the Channel Islands, to go out to Tanner. I mean, it just gives us incredible range for our first night's fishing or even daytime's fishing. It's going to be a good one. That's in June, a reverse 2.5-day trip on the beautiful Apollo. I can't wait for that one. That's going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of great trips, April the 4th through the 9th, we are on board the Independence for 5 glorious days of sport fishing with this early signal of bluefin and this yellowtail all over the place, halibut, white sea bass, and so much more. Our options are endless on board the Independence. Make sure you go to the Independence website today or give them a call and find out more about the Friedman Adventures 5-day trip, April 4th through the 9th. That's my son Philip's birthday. He'll be on board that one. That's going to be a memorable birthday trip, I'll tell you that. Find out more about that by checking them out today. All right, let's get back into this halibut situation. You know, down south of us, the halibut bite hadn't been all that good out of Dana War Sport Fishing, but they've managed to catch a few flatties down there the last couple of days, so a little bit more starting to happen there. The Chubasco runs out of Redondo Sport Fishing, and they had a nice trip. They had 7 halibut, 1 nice white sea bass, limits a big fat whitefish. The extraordinarily talented and really well-known Dan Burns sent me that information and a photo to prove that they indeed did come up with that catch. Chubasco fishes hard out of Redondo, does really great, and that is a nice hit indeed. I will tell you that right now. By the way, back to the Native Son, their last 3 trips, 30 legal halibut, over 100 legal halibut, well over, like starting to push up toward 150 in this derby. Really, really great stuff. Aloha Spirit, Cisco Sport Fishing in beautiful Oxnard, California, where my father was born. Beautiful trip for them. 18 guys, 132 on the whitefish, 11 calico bass, and 3 halibut. Really nice fishing going on. Remember, sheephead season opens up on March the 1st. That's coming up right away. And the Victory out of Long Beach Sport Fishing is doing a sheephead tournament. I like these tournaments, man. Good going, guys. Adding a little spice and adventure to an already great adventure. So that is going on. And then Rockfish will open up on April the 1st. That's all headed in the right direction here quickly. So we'll continue to watch that for you very, very closely. Michael Parrish, he took his boat out for the very first time this year and ended up with limits. Well, not limits. Well, maybe limits. I'm not sure. He creamed the sand bass and calico bass. Michael, nice going on their first trip of the year. Private boatering around and doing really, really great. And man, I'll tell you, Tom Troop with some nice calico bass fishing here locally also. Man, I'm telling you, things are accelerated and biting really, really well. So hopefully we'll continue to see more and more of that. And also in the surf, well, you could see from yesterday's video, and I still have more video to cut up here today for you all because I featured the kids. I thought, hey, let's show the kids first of all. They had a ball down here. It was so much fun. Surf fishing is such a great activity, and it's easy on the wallet. So that is something that if you're having some financial limitations to jump on a 5-day trip or something like that, you can always come to the surf. And I'll be announcing some guided trips here in the surf very, very soon. I need to get that on the books so we can start booking you up. Have a lot of interest in that, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to make that very affordable so you can come out and do that on a regular basis. Really good stuff going on. Several anglers catching their very first surf fish with us, but up and down the coast, we saw some great fishing also. Marty Talcove, he had a white sea bass in the surf. That is an extraordinarily special catch. Michael Davis catching the barred perch and even a lizard fish. How can you beat that kind of craziness? Michael Raven fishing the San Diego Bay for spotted bay bass and sand bass. Michael, good morning to you, my friend. Paul Vu, he was out, and man, he put this photo up of a young angler with a spot fin. Wow, that is one beautiful fish, one beautiful catch. That young man should be congratulated, and that's what we are doing right now. So really great stuff going on. No question about it. Private boaters and surf fishermen up and down the coast have been doing well. You know, lobster season's about to close. You better get out and make it happen because it's been an extraordinarily great season. This past season's been a good one. Here on your ProMarAhi.com lobster hoop netting report. Really great stuff going on. Robert Lopez, he says they've had 150 lobster for 3 guys this past season. Man, oh man, I'd hate to put a number on that, man. 150 pounds. And that's a conservative, probably 200 plus pounds. Let's say 200 pounds, $50 a pound. Is that 10 grand? You better check my math and put a comment down below because my math is not good. $50 a pound, 200 pounds. I'm coming up with 10 grand in my pea brain right now. The Spitfire out of Redondo, or pardon me, out of Marina del Rey, they have had limits of langostas their last 3 nights. So while there's still time, you should get out and do that also. Really, really great stuff. Hey, don't miss that Independence trip. That's going to be a fun one. Don't miss Tackle Shop Confessions this evening. That's going to be a great one. The Lexa 500, the Daiwa Reel. You've all been waiting to see. We're going to debut it tonight on Tackle Shop Confessions. You'll be able to ask any question you'd like. You can be part of the studio audience by just showing up to Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California for this evening's show. Make sure you bring a ribeye steak for me, just kidding. And we'll have a little party down there and have some fun with Sam De La Torre and the staff of Island Fishing Tackle. All right, my friends, what can I tell you? It's a beautiful morning here. There's no rain, there's no wind. It's gorgeous, man. If I had the time, I'd be surf fishing right now, but I don't have the time. I've got to run down to 22nd Street Landing and do some interviews for all of you, keep you in touch with all the latest, as it's my great pleasure. And also, if I don't see you tonight at Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California, I hope to see you somewhere else really, really soon. Take care, my friends.